camera and you love taking pictures, but how do you get to your first real client, especially if you don't have a portfolio to show? This is such a common predicament for newer aspiring photographers. They have a passion and the drive, but they don't yet have a photography portfolio. Without a portfolio, it's hard to attract clients, and without clients, it's hard to create a portfolio. So what's a photographer to do? Well, listen in, because in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 tips to get your first photography client, even if you do not have a portfolio. Hey friends, Heather Chesky here, the creator of The Booked Photographer. After being unexpectedly laid off from my steady day job well over a decade ago, I built a multiple 6-figure photography business while simultaneously raising my babies and homeschooling. And I did this with 0 formal business training and in the middle of a saturated area. Now, in the beginning, nobody, and I mean nobody, thought it was possible to make a consistent living as a photographer, but they were wrong. It's absolutely possible to make a great living as a photographer, and I can show you how. Every week, we put out new videos to help portrait and wedding photographers attract their ideal clients and fill their calendar so they can consistently contribute to their family finances. But here's the catch. We are not about grinding it out or neglecting your marriage or your children or your sleep. After all, what's the point of building a business if you lose or miss out on life's most important relationships? So here we put God first, family second, and only pursue the most impactful things in marketing and business, not the things that waste your valuable time and won't make a bit of difference at the end of the day. If that resonates with you, stick around, subscribe, and enjoy. The first step in filling your calendar with photography clients is to define the kinds of client and the niche that you want to photograph. Do you want to photograph newborns or families, high school seniors, brides and grooms on their wedding day, brand photos for small businesses and entrepreneurs, or something else entirely? Knowing what kind of clients you want to photograph will go a long way in knowing where to connect with these kinds of people. Once you determine a niche you'd like to focus your photography on, take some time to research that kind of person. How old are they? What do they do on a day-to-day basis? Are they a student or a professional? What's their family life like? What do they do for fun? Where do they hang out, both in person and on the internet? What would motivate them to hire a photographer like you? What would be some reservations or questions they have prior to investing in professional photography? When you take the time to understand your ideal client, you will gain a better understanding of where to go, what to do, and what to say to authentically connect with them. So let's go ahead and move on to tip number 2 to get your first client if you lack a portfolio. Tip number 2 is to take an hour or 2 and open up an Excel file on your computer. List out all the people you know. This list can include people you went to high school or college with, coworkers, your spouse's coworkers, neighbors, friends, people from church, etc. List their name, their phone number, email if you have it, and perhaps their social media. This will now be your database of potential clients. You can then reach out to each one individually and share how excited you are about starting a photography business. Ask them if they have any need or desire to be photographed. Many will say yes, and some will not, but it could potentially refer you to someone else they know that you don't, who is looking for a photographer. What we need to realize is that bookings come from conversation. So the more conversations you have, the more you increase your chances of getting booked. In addition to reaching out to the people you added to your database, you can start attending local networking groups, volunteer, shop at local businesses, or partner with local charities. Be intentional about starting conversations with the new friends you meet. Ask them what they do for a living. That will naturally lead them to ask you what you do, thereby giving you an open door to share about your photography business that you are starting. Ask them if they are interested in being photographed. The worst that someone can say is that they are not interested at the moment, and that's no big deal. You just move on to the next person. And finally, tip number 3 to book your first client, even if you don't have a portfolio, is to promote your photography by using a model call. But let me caution you on this. I've seen many newbie photographers offer a model call as a completely free session and then give away all the digital images they took, which means they don't make any money. I do not recommend that at all. There is a better way to market with model calls and earn an income while you build your portfolio. In fact, I created this video right here where I talk more about how to create a profitable model call that you can watch by clicking above. The gist of a model call is that the photographer offers some sort of a limited incentive to encourage a client to book a session. The incentive can be a waived session fee or a single 8x10 print. The point here is to not include all the digitals. Instead, you offer your clients the opportunity to purchase additional prints, products, and digitals. When you do that, you'll have the opportunity to make a sale. Many of my model call sessions has led to $2,500 portrait sales, so this definitely is not a bad way to market your photography as you build your portfolio and still make an income. Truthfully, there's a lot more that goes into a model call process. Obviously, you need to know how to get the word out about your model call and the best ways to communicate and prepare your clients so that you do make a sale. This is one of the marketing strategies we teach extensively inside the mentorship. So if that's something you want to learn more about, go ahead and comment mentorship below. We can then show you how you can fill your calendar and create consistent $1,000 plus sales per portrait client. Anyways, there are 3 tips to get your first 1, 2, or 10 clients, even if at the moment you lack a portfolio. Now, before you pop off, tell me in the comments below, which of these tips will you start using today? Or what did you do to get your very first photography client? Hey friend, before you go, be sure to grab yourself a copy of our ebook called The Becoming Booked Method, a photographer's guide to a fully booked calendar and a profitable business. It is by far the most comprehensive resource that will help you attract and book ideal clients, price your work, and scale your photography business. Head on over to www.thebookedphotographer.com/book or click the link that you see somewhere around this video to grab your very own copy.